Hello, Pre-Algebra. This is me giving you a thumbs up. I think this is our last lesson for this whole year. Wow! Are you excited? Some of you are like, oh, thank God. Anyway, we're going over 13.8 volumes of pyramids, cones, and spheres. So when we're talking about cones, right, this is how much ice cream you could fit in the little ice cream cone. Pyramids are, right, how much can fit inside the Luxor, I guess. And then spheres are how much air it takes to pump up a ball. So, again, a few more formulas, just some things to memorizar. I don't think that's a word. I don't know, I'm acting all goofy. And the volume of a pyramid or a cone, it's really not that different. It's the same formula. Volume is going to equal 1/3. The area of the base, remember, big B always represents the area of base. And we're multiplying by the height, which is the height of object, not the side. Okay. So here's our first example. So we've got this pyramid. It's a rectangular pyramid, right? Because it's got a square at the base. You could see how the drawing is showing that the height of the object isn't going along the side. It's going from the peak to the middle of the base. That's the height that we're talking about. That's the height of the object. Okay, so again, we're going to use this formula. 1/3 the area of the base times the height. Well, the area of the base is going to be, since it's a square, it's going to be 8 times 8, or 8 squared, meaning it's 64. So now I'm going to plug that in. 1/3 times 64 times 12, the height, is going to be, let's see, 1/3 of 64. Oh, I don't know that, but I know 1/3 of 12 is 4. So 4 times 64 is 256. And because we're talking volume, the units are cubed, right? Anything that's volume is 3 dimensions, length, width, height, right? We've got length, width, and the height. And so that's our answer. Pretty straightforward. Okay. With a cone, again, this is the height is the shape, or rather the distance from the peak of the cone to the center of the circle. 1/3 base times height. The area of that circle is going to be pi r squared. In this case, it's 16 pi. That's the area of our base. Now notice how I'm just keeping the pi until the end. I'm going to have 1/3 16 times pi times 6. So that's going to give me 1/3 of 6 is 2. 2 times 16 is 32. 32 pi is roughly 3.14 times 32, about 100.5, right? I'm rounding to the nearest tenth. So the volume is about 100.5 centimeters cubed. So if you had a ice cream cone that looked like this, 6 centimeters is maybe this tall. It's not very tall. And 4 centimeters wide. So that's not very big, but you could fit 100 cubic centimeters of ice cream in that. Woo! Hot dog. Oh, wait, no, ice cream, not hot dogs. Okay, now spheres. Spheres, the volume is 4/3 pi r cubed. So it's similar to the surface area, right? That was 4 pi r squared. Now it's 4 times pi r cubed. Don't ask me how or why. I don't actually know. But we're talking volume here. So when you see 4/3, what we're going to do is we're going to multiply by 4 and then divide by 3. So here's our example. We've got this fancy dancy sphere with a radius of 7 meters. So I'm going to plug that in. 7 cubed is 343. So that's going to give me 4 divided by 3 times 343 times pi. 4/3 of 343. Well, rather, 4 times 343 is 1,372 divided by 3, all times pi. Aren't you glad you have calculators? It's roughly 143, right, 1,436 meters cubed. I've got a couple more examples, but this is basically it. Right? These are just practice problems. So here's our first one. Right, first I need to find the area of the base, 18 squared, or yeah, 18 squared times 15 divided by 3 will get you this. Let me actually work that one out, just so you guys can see it. Let's see. So volume will equal 1/3 of 18 squared times 15, which is 1/3 of 15 is 5. 5 times 18 squared. 18 squared is, let's see, I don't actually know, and I don't have a calculator on me, but this is the basic process, and then you plug it in. Yeah. Okay. I've got an example of a cone. So again, my volume will be 1/3 base times height. Our base will be 25 pi, right? Again, it's pi r squared. R squared is 25. So this volume will then be 1/3. Oh my goodness, not 13. Why am I just out of it today? I don't know. 1/3, 25 times 8 times pi. Now I changed the order of 25, 8, my height, and pi, because of the commutative property, right? I could change the order. 25 times 8 is 400. So 400 times, or 400 pi divided by 3. I don't know what that is off the top of my head, but I know it's about 209 centimeters cubed. Okay, and then finally we have this bad boy. Again, volume of a cube is 4/3 pi r cubed. In this case, that'll be 4/3 pi times 27. 27 divided by 3 equals 4 times 9 pi, which equals 4 times 9 is 36. 36 pi is roughly 113 feet cubed. Okay guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, love you a bunch. Bye.